June 21st, 2024, Drew Huard is hired as Madonna head baseball coach, and a lot of excitement for the new season, but a lot to do ahead of 2025. We fast forward to that date. It's January 20th, 2025, and there's a lot of excitement gathering around Madonna baseball. Sean Massa bringing you the preseason interview for the year one of the Drew Huard era. We'll kick it aside to talk to the man that will take the helm of his first collegiate baseball team as head coach with Drew Huard. Sean Massa now joined by head coach Drew Huard. Coach, let's talk about the ladder here for you as a coach. Lansing Community College, Davenport, Oakland, stints at JUCO, D2, D1. How have those experiences, almost every level of college baseball, helped you get ready for your first head coaching experience here at Madonna?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, I've been lucky enough to have a bunch of experiences, which I think helped me get to where I'm at right now, and it's going to help me, through the season, being able to see different coaching styles, different styles of play, and then now kind of recreating what I think works best and what's going to put the personnel that we have here at Madonna in my first year, put them in the best position to succeed. I think all in all, baseball's baseball. I know you mentioned a bunch of different levels, but for me, I think when you round up all of the places that I've been, I like to think that I'm a winner. Every place that I've been able to be at, we've won a lot of baseball games, and I don't credit that to me, my staff, the staffs that I've been a part of. I credit to the kids. I think we've done a really nice job collectively as staffs at all the places that I've been at, putting a good coaching group together that not only is coaching baseball, but they're coaching life. And I think when you're able to touch a kid off the field, but also see the importance in being able to teach them on the field, when you're able to collaborate the two, I think that instills a lot of trust, a lot of buy-in, and then, the ultimate return is you get to see a lot of wins in the win column, which I've been really fortunate to have a lot of those. So, I think Madonna's always had a rich tradition, rich history of winning. That's what attracted me to this job, and I'm just looking to continue that with the group that we have, the Donna Boys in 2025.
And then you talk about the job opening up. I want to talk to you about the emotional side of that. You see the job opening, you go through the interview process, you get that call that you're the head coach at Madonna University. It's your job to take. Kind of walk me through the excitement of that feeling, getting your first head coaching job, especially here, knowing how badly you wanted to be here, but also kind of the flip that switch to right there about, wait, we got a season to prepare. I can't be emotional for too long.
Yeah. When I saw the Madonna job up, this was a destination job. I mean, this is a job that doesn't pop up very often. I know the last couple of years, with some different situations, it has. But for me, I kind of alluded to it in the last question of they've always won. And I wanted to find a place where I could create a legacy. My family, I do have a wife and 4 kids where we could settle down and call a place home. And during the interview process, I definitely felt that with Noel and the administration top to bottom. I just really felt like they loved athletics, and it was supported with the trophies and the trophy cases that they have. But, all in all, the 6-7 months that I have been here, I feel like I've been able to pick a little bit from each head coach that's coaching sports here, and I think it's pretty cool with all the sports that are a part of Madonna. They're all very like-minded, and they want to win at the highest level, but they want to develop people, and they want to get the most out of the student athletes that come here.
And then as a coach, there's a lot of things that the naked eye might not see about your team, throughout fall ball, throughout practices, et cetera. Kind of walk me through the crop of talent you guys have brought in, what's to be excited about from a coaching perspective, especially going into the year.
Yeah, the cupboard's not bare. I think there's a lot of players, very talented players, that have won, not only at Madonna, but won at the other institutions that they came from, whether it's Junior College World Series, making regionals at different schools before coming here. We do have a lot of talent, and, obviously I'm excited to continue working and progressing towards February 7th when we go down to Kingsport, Tennessee. But we still have our work to do, and we're making big strides in getting there. But I really like this group. I think they've bought in, and I do sympathize with a lot of the upperclassmen who have been through, this would be the 3rd coaching change that they've had, but I think it's been pretty nice because I've had some previous relationships with some of them, and I think it's been an easy transition because I think they've poured their trust, they've poured all the buy-in, and they're ready to succeed and make a name for their class and leave a legacy behind them. So I'm really excited for the season. It can't come soon enough. And I know one thing, we're really going to compete. We're going to play if it's a 7-inning game, we're going to play all 21 outs. If it's a 9-inning game, we're going to play all 27 outs. We're going to compete to the last out, and I think we're going to, like I said, we're going to create a tradition here of winning championships if we can do that.
This team won a conference championship in 2022 under head coach Justin Karn. They went to the national level to compete. It was one of the longest seasons, one of the most successful seasons Madonna baseball has had. What do you guys need to do to get this program back to that level?
Yeah, I think we need to be ourselves. I think that 2022 group, or what I know of it, there's a lot of different players that played on that group. We do still have some, so I think they can share some of those experiences. But, I think from the offensive end, we're going to apply a lot of pressure on the opposing pitching staff, on the opposing defense. We're going to try to create some chaos. I think that fits with kind of my background, being an offensive-minded head coach, but also fits our skill set, our personnel that we currently have on the team. I do think we're very athletic. I think we're going to put ourselves in. Ultimately, we're going to put ourselves in a lot of good hitting positions, good counts where we can be effective and create some chaos on the opponent. And from the pitching side, the opponent needs to earn, the opposing team offense needs to earn everything that they get. So, with that, I think we need to manipulate speeds, manipulate counts, manipulate some situations where we can put ourselves in good situations where we pitch to contact, use the strength of our defense and athleticism defensively, but also be able to hold runners and field our position. If we can do those three things from the pitching side, we're going to be really good, because I think the pitching staff has a lot of depth to it, which I'm excited about, and there's still names from our coaching staff. Like, I don't know if we can put together a starting rotation of 4 right now. I think we have seven names that are probably deserving, and obviously we have some time to figure that out yet, but I think that's a good problem to have. I think we can really look at the scouting reports and break down the opponent and kind of fit who's best from that aspect. So I think the three pieces, I think if we put it all together, we can be really successful.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah.
That's Coach Drew Huard talking about his first season as a head coach. That's on deck. We'll kick it aside to the other end of the coaching staff with Dylan Roberts. Sean Massa joined by assistant coach and head of recruiting here for Madonna Baseball, Dylan Roberts. Coach, let's talk real quickly about you guys as a staff and kind of that shortened off-season approach, kind of getting thrown into it. We talked about it with head coach Drew Huard, but I want to talk about it from your perspective as the assistant and on the recruiting side too. We'll touch base, but kind of talk about that shortened off-season for you guys and kind of just getting the staff together and knowing, hey, we got a season to prepare for in 6 months.
Yeah, I think the one thing was definitely just trying to add 1 or 2 pieces for this fall, this year, right before we got started with our 2025 class, and kind of figuring out what we had from fall ball and some spots that we need to fill. But really it was just getting a couple guys that were still hanging out there a little bit that still didn't have a home in July. And then after that, it was getting started on our 2025 class. And I think the big thing that Coach Huard and I really put emphasis on was just dominating the Metro Detroit area. I think there's a lot of good baseball in this area. And I want to say we don't have a commit that's outside of an hour right now for the 2025 class, too. So we really want to make sure that Madonna is a spot that a lot of local kids want to take pride in and play here. And I think that has been the thing in the past, and we really want to get that back. So we've really just been focusing on the Metro Detroit area. We've been recruiting really good athletes that may turn into really good baseball players, if that makes sense. So we think, if we get them in the right system, they can really flourish here and be a Madonna Crusader for us down the road.
And then you kind of touched base on it a little bit, but I kind of want to go deeper into the fact every staff, every coaching staff has their own unique perspective on, what you look for in the recruiting cycle, what you really attack and try to get towards your school. What has been your guys' approach here as you get your first class for 2025?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, I think I touched on it a little bit, is just athleticism, right? I think we can teach a kid to throw, some more strikes, but we can't really teach someone to run a 6'6", hitting the ball in the gap, things like that. That's somewhat God-given, but I think at some point you have to be really athletic to kind of be attracted for us. I think it's just something you can't really teach at the end of the day. We can teach someone to lay off a breaking ball in the dirt. We can teach a pitcher a little more break on their breaking ball, throw more strikes, things like that. At some point, you got to be athletic to really flourish in this league, and there's a lot of athleticism in this league and at any college level, really. So I think at some point, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's athleticism, really, and then we'll help you form into an overall baseball player, really.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's the coaching side of things. We'll take a break. We'll go back onto the athletics side. We'll start on the mound with Nick Torres. We move on the diamond. We'll start with senior right-handed pitcher Nick Torres. Nick, let's talk about your first year here at Madonna last year. You throw 41 innings. That's a career high for you at the collegiate level coming from Mott. Kind of talk to me about having that impact right away, getting those reps, getting those innings.
I think getting a lot of innings last year at the NAI level gave me some good experience and should only play a big role in my senior year.
Talk about that. Your senior year from head coach Drew Huard, he talks very highly of you going into it, and there's a lot of excitement going into this season. Kind of what was the offseason like for you getting ready for this senior year and a potential to have a huge role in that staff?
Did a lot of arm care over the summer, just making sure my body's prepped and ready for the fall so it can throw a lot and get put through all the games and workouts.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll kick it aside to another right-handed pitcher with Brendan Vanterbergen. Sean Massa joined by junior pitcher Brendan Vanterbergen. Brendan, let's talk real quickly about that aspect right there. A pitcher. You were a two-way player at JUCO at Kellogg. You make that transition coming here to Madonna. Kind of talk to me about that from a mental perspective, especially knowing that, hey, now I'm focused on the bump and focused on throwing my best stuff.
Yeah, coming here to Madonna 2 years ago, I think Karn was here. I didn't really have a locked-in spot on the field as infielder, so kind of made the switch over to pitching, which I'm doing currently. So I did a lot of preparation work, arm care. It's something that I really sought after and something that I take pride in. So, going to the field every day, doing arm care, armband stuff, med balls, just taking care of your arm mainly is something that's really helped me out through getting through this fall and a little bit last year. So.
And then we talked about that, making the transition to pitcher last year, not a lot of action, dealing with an injury. Kind of talk to me about the rehab process and, the ideology, of I got the chance to throw a lot of innings this year and have a big impact.
Yeah, so coming in from the summer, I knew I had to get a lot of work done to my arm, taking care of my body, eating healthy, getting into the right habits again because I took a little bit of time off, from taking 2 or 3 months recovery time to get fully healed. So arm care process, I knew I wanted to be fully healthy coming into the fall, which I started throwing, say mid June, July or something like that. So I had a little bit of time to get my arm healthy for this fall coming up, and I was able to get a lot of decent amount of innings, and I'm just glad to be back by my teammates and praise that I'm able to be on the baseball field still. So all thanks to God and his right path, and yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brendan. That wraps up the pitching side of things. We'll go onto the field. 2 senior starters returning from last year. We'll go to Kyle Revere. Sean Massa now joined by senior shortstop Kyle Revere. Kyle, let's talk about that right there. You're the only returner in the infield this year for Coach Huard's team. Kind of talk to me about that aspect of trying to get the infield, get the boys ready for opening day.
Yeah, fourth year, brand new infield for the 4th year in a row, pretty much. It's just the process of going through it, new guys every year, and we've just been playing baseball. It's all about getting reps, a lot of reps, and just trusting our process, trusting our flow through everything, and just getting it done, making the plays when the balls hit to you.
And then this is your 3rd coach here in Madonna in the last 3 years. It's been a bit of a carousel going on, but Coach Huard here to stay, as it seems. Kind of talk to me about that from your perspective, going through all those coaches, just going through those different systems and trying to get ready for this season.
Yeah, Coach Huard's done a great job with the staff he's brought in. We had a really big recruiting class coming in, over 60 guys. So the process of dealing with 60 ball players in one practice setting, a 3-hour window, it can be. I've seen it. It's not easy, but with the additions of Coach Roberts as a pitching guy, help of BG who was on the staff last year, Coach Sharkus, All-American at his time here, and Beetle, one of the best catchers I've ever played with, and they've done and Ty Hill, they've done a great job and getting us ready to go. And I think we're going to be really good this year with their preparation and their help.
Thank you so much. You got one more. We'll kick it aside, finish it off with Bobby Cavan. We end things off with senior catcher Bobby Cavan. Bobby, first let's talk about this season coming up for you guys. You're one of the returners from the last couple teams, the last couple of coaching regimes. How has it been for you in your 5th year now here in Livonia? How has it been for you just being that middle ground voice, being that voice that kind of brings everyone together under the new staff and kind of with that Madonna goal in general?
I definitely think it's been a very smooth turnover from last year to this year. Coach Huard, Coach Roberts. We've had some other guys on the team like Zach Beadle and Sharkus, BG, that are coming and helping with us. I think especially this year we have a lot bigger team than we did last year, carrying 60-plus guys. But being one of those guys that people look towards to and speak up to and then want to ask questions about, I think I'm one of those guys that at the end of the year are really going to be able to speak for them. A lot of guys on the team, younger kids don't really think they have a voice on the team, and being able to understand that every person on this team is going to have a role for us to eventually get to that ring, or hopefully get to that ring at the end of the season and make a further run as much as we can. With this offseason, the coaches that put us through everything possibly can, live, team improvement, making sure that our bodies are staying the best that we possibly can to perform when it comes to February 7th when we go down in Tennessee. So I think, especially from last year to this year, it's been a great transition. I think we're held to a higher standard, more accountability, and I think that's going to help us in the long run at the end of the season. So.
And I want to talk about it right there. You kind of touched base on it, led me right to it, keeping your bodies ready and healthy throughout the season. 2 years ago, you hit 9 home runs, 39 RBIs. Last season, it was up and down, battling that wrist injury. What was this offseason like, for you, getting ready for this year, trying to get healthy?
That wrist injury did do a big impact into my life, especially when it comes to the catching standpoint as well. I did take some time off, wanted to try to heal that as much as I can. Didn't swing for about 6-7 weeks, just wanted to heal it as best as I possibly could. So during this fall, I tried to just do as much PT as I possibly could with Bryn, our training staff. They do a great job for us. Try to get myself in the best shape I possibly could by trying to cut some LBs, doing what I can. I think that's going to benefit myself and the team as well, being able to hit more balls in the gap, getting more down to second base, not being just a single guy, try to hit the ball as far as I can. Try to be more of a gap-to-gap guy, yes, with some power, but be able to get to those bases and advance in extra 90s, I think is going to help my game and help the boys that hit either in front of me or behind me to really advance the game, get more RBIs, more runs for us to score more collectively as a team. So,
thank you so much, Bobby. Yeah. That kicks it off and ends things. For our preseason interview, there's only one thing left to do. It's play baseball. February 7th, the boys will head down south for opening day.